I'm going to briefly go over how to balance a chemical equation. Sometimes these can be extremely simple and sometimes they can seem very difficult just depending on the equation. Sometimes it takes a little longer and you have to play around with it, but as long as you don't give up, there is always an answer to be found. So don't get too discouraged. This one's fairly simple, so I'm just going to show you how I go about it, and there's more than one way to do it, I'm sure, but this is just my method. So the first thing I do is I write down all of the elements involved in my equation. So I have this one, and this one. Well, if it's on the reactant side, it's going to be on the product side, obviously, so I line them up side by side, just to make it easy to see. Then I go through and I count how much of each element is on each side of the equation. So right here I have 1, I have 2 hydrogen, and I have 1 oxygen. Okay, over here I have 1 hydrogen, I have 2 plus 1 is 3, and oxygen I have 1. Okay. So now my method is I sort of just look and see which part I have more of one than the other. So these are good, but I notice I have more hydrogen on this side. So that means I'm somehow going to have to up the hydrogen on this side. So there's an understood 1 here, so I'm just going to try and up it to a 2 and see what happens. So when I up that to a 2, my hydrogens change, and I'll just mark this out and I put 4. Well, now my oxygens are 2. So now I got to go back to this side and see what's going on here. So I know that I've got to have more hydrogen, and I've got hydrogen here and I've got hydrogen here. So it's kind of either way, whichever you want to try. But I also know I need more oxygen too because I have 2 on this side. So I probably need to change the oxygen as well. So I'm going to put a 2 and see what happens. All right. So that changes this to a 2, which means I need to go back and change that one to a 2, which is no big deal. Okay, so now I've got oxygen I'm looking at. So I've got 2 oxygen because this goes to everything. So that'll be a 2 for oxygen. And hydrogen now is 2, 3, 4. So I'll change that to 4. Oh, look at there. I've got it balanced. 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 2 and 2. Now, not all of them are this quick. Some of them take a little longer and maybe a little bit more involved. But like I said, if you stick with it, use this method. Sometimes it's just trial and error, and it just takes a while. You try it, it doesn't work, you try something else. But just keep trying. Good luck.